Hey guys, welcome back to another video of mine. Sorry this one took a little bit longer due to circumstances in real life, but I'm glad you guys returned for this video. And in this video, we're going to be upgrading those boring Skyrim animations that you love and turning them into something that you will never want to remove from your mod list. But before we get into it, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe. And if you have YouTube Premium, make sure you hit that download button so that YouTube thinks you watched the whole video, but maybe you should watch it either way. Because I'm going to be listing most of the major animation mods you guys always ask me about in my videos so that when you head into 2024, you can feel like you belong. But without further ado, let's get right into this. Since we're focusing on animations, it's only right we start off with the movement animations. And to do that, we'll be using what's sort of like a pack of animation. This mod is called Conditional Armor type animations. This mod on its own does absolutely nothing, but if you go to Vero's page and you grab their other animations such as Leviathan or Vanargand, even the older Leviathan ones, and in the optional files there's an add-on for this mod and you can grab them all so you can have movement animations for NPCs and the player. And the movement animations are completely based on what armor type you're currently wearing, or if you're not wearing anything at all. You can change what armor type gets what animations if you want, but at base, Leviathan is strictly for heavy armor, Vanargand is for light armor, Goetia won't even show up until you have a lot of magicka, or you can just have it set up to the point where if you just have mage robe equipped, it will happen. But the Runway walk animation, which a lot of people used to ask me for in my comments, is strictly for females who have clothing on, so we'll work with Goetia as well. If they don't have high enough magicka, it will be replaced. These conditions can also be turned off just for the player or NPC, so you can just use whatever animation you want during whatever armor you currently have on. But you kind of have to understand Open Animation Replacer to do so, because that is a requirement for the latest versions of conditional armor type replacements. The Dynamic Animation Replacer version was retired, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately. But next part of this video is Smooth Moveset by Goetia. This mod simply changes the way your character moves with their weapon drawn, and also how your weapon is drawn and how it looks. So you have special ideals that play for your character that loop, but some ideals will kind of just stop at one point, so it looks kind of immersive. Like if you have the war axe out, your character will just swing it onto their shoulder and it will just sit there until you start moving again. But the best part is that each weapon has their own unique ideal, and I believe it is based on how heavy the weapon actually is. Goetia is currently working on expanding this mod though, so you may see more updates, but for now, almost every weapon is different. So if you ever find yourself ideal, your character will play cool animations for you to keep yourself entertained if you currently aren't using your hands for other things. This mod is an absolute must-have, but I pretty much think every animation mod in this video is a must-have for me. And maybe you should add it to your list now that you're watching this video. But now that we got the weapon drawn safe movement and draw animations, we need sprint animations. And for that we have dynamic sprint. Now, quick disclaimer though, dynamic sprint changes the non-weapon drawn animations, but I deleted those files because I kind of wanted to just stick strictly to the unarmed animations from Vero, because otherwise dynamic sprint would overwrite those. But that's a matter of preference. You can keep dynamic sprint strictly at base so you get a sprint unarmed and armed. But on to the next mod. Just to get this out the way, you also need to replace those jumps, and this is the perfect mod to do just that. This mod does require the regular smooth jump animations, but smooth weapon jump basically allows for each jump animation to be unique based on your character's weight and if the weapon is drawn. But I do want to say you want to be careful with this mod because, like I said, your weight matters now, so you won't be jumping as high as you used to, unless you have some light armor or mage clothing on. But I believe that's kind of more immersive unless you're a vampire. I don't know what it is, but vampires always jump freakishly high. But now we pretty much got the basic movement out the way. Now we should focus on the miscellaneous stuff like shouts for starters. At base, the vanilla shouts are all the same, so this mod aims to fix that by adding subtle animation to your character, and each shout has their own unique one. I wanted to showcase different shouts and show how different they all are, but I know this might get a little boring, so we're sticking straight to the point just for you guys so that we can get to the end of this video. There is another shout animation replacer from Goetia and a few other people, but this one is simple and immersive, so it's my go-to. And to continue on fixing the magic, I think this might be the only mod that actually touched the animation for enchanted staves, and it continues on the Goetia series. I really have a huge hunch I'm saying that wrong. But this mod is called Goetia Enchanted Staves. It changes the way your stave is fired as well as how your character equips and ideals with them. Vero is really good at making subtle improvements that aren't aimed to turn your game into an anime. And in 2024, that's kind of my main goal, especially since my turning Skyrim into Dark Souls phase ended recently for me. And you're probably catching on to a theme here, but the next mod is also from the Goetia series. This time it overhauls the basic magic animation that your character uses and also for NPCs as well. Not only does it change the casting animation, it also changes the way your character moves, providing a more relaxed approach a true mage probably should have, as well as making the casting animation seem more serious than rather goofy. At least in my opinion, the original Skyrim animations tried so hard to be too serious that they became kinda meme worthy. The sneak magic casting animation from the Goetia series does the same, but I mean at this point, just go grab every Goetia animation like everyone else is doing. But another missed animation that we have to focus on is the archery animation. So to start it off is another mod from Vero. This mod is called Vanargand Archery, or Vanargand. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong also. I don't know why the names are always so complicated. But I also highly recommend to give Skypea dynamic archery a try, but it's more shaped towards the feminine side of Skyrim. While Vero's is more shaped towards the unisex, that's why I prefer to use it, especially considering I prefer to play as a male character besides when I'm doing showcases. Then it's pretty much the only time I use female characters. I remember thinking to make it on YouTube, at least in the Skyrim side of showcases, I had to use female characters and show a lot of boobs and stuff. Now I just do whatever I want and things eventually work out somehow. But yeah, back to the animation. Pretty much for archery, we're going to just be using Vanargand because, like I said, Vanargand is like an extension to the regular Skyrim for bows and also for crossbows. But what's great is that dynamic sprint from Skypea, which was mentioned earlier in this video, if you skipped it, works also for this. So you get a mix of new animations, so nothing is pretty much missed out on. But if you prefer more anime-like, there is Skypea bow animations that let you flip in the air like a Power Ranger and also shoot 3 arrows at once that pretty much kills everything in your way instantly. So it's pretty much overpowered, but it's cool looking. But if you want to stick to vanilla, then this is your go-to, because by the end of this video, we're going to pretty much have every single animation in your game overhauled, or at least expanded on, just to show it some love. Oh, and I beg you guys, please let me know down in the comments if there are some animation mods I missed out on, but only if they are free. I don't want to showcase too many paid mods, but I will showcase some. Oh, and I didn't forget about the most basic sneak ideal and walk animations, because in vanilla it's trying so hard to fit the word sneaky. But the mod from Vero's Sneak Walk ideal fits realistic standards so much better in my opinion, so that's why it's a must have. There are some more, for lack of better words, butt out sneak animations, but for people that prefer that kind of thing, we're just going to be sticking to PG-13 things here. Now we get into the good stuff, the combat animation mods. And the most basic one I use and people ask me about is the Nordic Animation Complete Pack. And yes, this mod does require Attack Modern Combat Overhaul, but you can find that mod on Modding Guild. It's not that hard to find, you can just Google it. But this mod overhauls all animations for the players and NPCs. But there is an optional file in the download section to get it just for NPCs, or you can get it just for yourself for the players. Because the mod author also has attack animations for multiple races, so you can choose which race has what animation. I prefer the Nordic set because it was their first one and it kinda just grew on me over time because it took a while for the other ones to come out. But I advise to check Kimming's mod page to look at the other animations to see just what attack animations you want and if you want to make it race based. And also maybe just a little bit to show support because you should be endorsing these mod authors. But this set isn't the only set I use. The next mod is a paid mod, so don't hate me too much because I did give a disclaimer. But the next mod by Skypea is For Honor Animations. They do have free versions on Nexus so you can grab those, but they don't feature the full functionality of the paid version and also the bug fixes, but we'll get into that later. But it's a pretty cheap price. I remember paying about $3 US, but it might have changed since then. It might have gone up or it might have gone down, but that's also where you can find their updated smooth moveset if you prefer to go that. This is also the mod I use when people ask how did I do the side dodge attacks, and also that special little charge attack that I do sometimes. The charge attack isn't very smart to use in combat because NPCs will just smack you while you're charging it up. Unless you have some kind of stun system, but sometimes I just do it to be flashy. And now that we've gotten the player animations out of the way, NPCs need some love too. And I know I said the last animation pack NPCs can use it as well, but I really like this new animation pack called Home Game. Honestly, the mod author's name is something I'm not even going to try and attempt. I'll also be honest here, I have no idea what they're doing is non-stop power attacking or if it's their normal regular animation attack. But each weapon is definitely unique, especially the daggers. The dagger is 100% what sold me on this animation pack. There's also the part where NPCs don't actually spam attack you to death like other modern combat overhaul packs because they don't have the concept of stamina like we do. They attack infinitely, but this pack makes them do 1 or 2 attacks, then they stop, basically giving you a chance to actually counter. And this is just a quick little extra one. This mod is called Random Death Animations by Black364. It has a few custom death animations for NPCs to play upon you killing them. It is random which ones appear, and it's also random when they appear, unless you grab the optional file to trigger them 100% of the time, but that would kind of kill the fun. In my opinion, they are a little bit dramatic, but it's fun to laugh at when they actually trigger. But you could also grab underdog death animations. That one did become a separate mod now. After all that, we have sorted out the combat side of things, but maybe I missed a few things. Let me know down in the comments. But now we can focus on the immersive side of Skyrim. And that firstly being Eating Sounds Animations by Nazim Uzim. That's a weird name. This mod does exactly what you think it does. It adds eating animations and sounds to pretty much every object in Skyrim that can be eaten or drunk. And depending on where you are located, those animations may change, such as if your character is sitting down or not. This mod base only covers vanilla items, but considering how popular this mod is, you'll find patches for pretty much every popular mod, so they can also use these animations as well as having their own unique model and textures. It is kind of unfortunate that I have to say only popular mods get patches, but that's just how things are. The more people use them, the more likely it is to get patched in. Then again, you can always just patch it yourself if you know how, and I myself have no idea how. But we're just gonna move on to the next mod that I know you guys will love, and I'm unsure if I can even count this as an animation mod, but this mod is called Sky Climb. Sky Climb by Sako basically takes anime traversal and expands on it. Instead of it just being certain places, now you can pretty much climb anything and pretty much go anywhere that you want to go, or wherever you need to go at least. Now if you truly had the dedication to, you wouldn't even need to take the steps to High Hrothgar. You could quite literally climb the entire mountain, provided you don't fall off or randomly encounter a dragon, because that has happened to me. Sky Climb used to only be for climbing, now you can scale fences as well as use it in first person. First person though, you might want to be careful because it will give you motion sickness if you do it too much, but it is there for the people that play it. I wonder if it'll ever be brought to VR, that'd be kinda cool. But for the last mod of today, just because it's there and it'd be kinda weird to not include it in the list of best animation mods, we have Immersive Interactions by J Serpa. Immersive interaction allows your characters and NPCs to do things that previously didn't have animations, like handing coin to beggars instead of it just teleporting to their inventory. You can interact with puzzles as well in dungeons, you can even hug your followers. But I do want to say to be careful with this mod because if you use it on a horse, your character will pet the horse first, which is immersive and I do like that. But if you don't wait until the animation is done, your character will freeze and then teleport on top of the horse so you can ride it. But all in all, this mod is an absolute must-have if you plan to overhaul your Skyrim animations with mods. But I mean, this is by J Serpa, and most people download his mods without even caring about what they actually do. And I too am guilty of this crime, I cannot lie. That was it for today guys. I really could have stretched this video out to 25 minutes if I wanted to, but I didn't want to waste anyone's time. But let me know what you thought down in the comments, but make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on your way down there. But I really do hope you all have a great day. Peace and love. And stop judging other people's Skyrim. Let them out how they want to mod. Other than that, like I just said, peace and love.